Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we're going to be rating TNA belts, TNA or Impact belts over the years, whatever which way you want to call it. Um, be honest with you on a lot of them. I don't remember seeing them when they were live. I think they've changed them over the years. So I might not know exactly what the name of the title is. So we're just going to be basing it off of looks and showing it. Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like I've watched TNA over the years very sparingly in certain times. I remember as a kid watching it a lot because it was like the only thing that came on, whatever channel it was at that time. Um, and I remember a lot of different wrestlers, and definitely the six-sided ring and all that. But I do remember the belts being kind of hit or misses. So we're just gonna base it off of it. I know I'm not gonna get the title of these belts that often, so I apologize in right now, and we'll go from there. We have the X Division Championship. I like the giant X on it. It is fits when they have the giant red X for matches on certain matchup types. This one in general looks pretty clean. I'm gonna just start it off in the middle for the time being. I have a feeling it's gonna move up with some of these belts, but at the moment, that's how I would do it. Next up is the Global Force. I think Global Force was between when they were TNA, then Global Force, then Impact, then now back to TNA. This belt looks like something that you would get for free somewhere. I don't know. I don't like it at all. It just there's something about it. The colors and everything, just it's just not it for me. Next up, we got the Grand Champion Impact belt. I don't ever remember even seeing this one. Like some of these I've seen in like videos or old stuff, but I don't think I've ever seen this one. I'm assuming it might be a special belt. Overall, it's slightly better than the Cracker Jack one right here, but it's like I said, just about bearable. Uh, this is definitely a different design and definitely somewhat like interesting design. But I know it's supposed to be for the ring, having the hexagon. So I guess that kind of is somewhat of a plus, but not necessarily what I would personally want as a belt. Next up is the Global Force X Division belt. Um, God, this is kind of ugly. I think it's the Global Force colors mixed with this, but it doesn't like the gold, at least in this picture, isn't great. I'm gonna have to put this also X Division belt in the bin. I think most of these Global Force ones is just not anything I like. This one I can't really tell what title it is. They have these weird kind of like oval ones. This looks like a knockout title, but I could be wrong. Um, it's supposed to be still that six-sided thing, but it's weird because it wouldn't feel comfortable wearing. I think it's slightly better than these two, but I don't particularly like this one. It just feels very a lot of words on it, and it just kind of cheaply made. This one I can't even tell. It's just a bunch of metal. It looks like another Global Force one. I think I hate all the Global Force ones. Um, I don't know if that's a thing that a lot of people like, but I had like it looks like it has some shades of what the AEW belt is, but like they kind of just slapped that on there. It maybe it isn't Global Force because I think I can read Impact, but it's just not it for me. It's slightly better than these two, but it would only really get up there if there's other gaudy belts out here. This TNA Impact belt just kind of seems like it's like really old. Like it just looks old. I don't think it's supposed to be old, but it looks old. Um, just not a fan of these. I would be honest. I don't know. I just don't like that. It kind of just look like a squished penny or something too. This one's a very interesting design with that. I think this blue is what is throwing me off. I really don't like this like random blue. I would have to put it down here. I think this. I don't know exactly the time frame of some of these titles, so maybe this is around the same time, but it's not the worst. It's definitely the best of the bottom stuff, but again, not really what I like. The color is not that. This is another like squash penny one too. It's the round design. I feel like this might be in somewhat of an order, but it feels like weird to see. I can't tell you exactly what championship that is. Another Impact Championship belt. The top almost looks like it's like a rusted penny. I don't know why you have so many penny looking ones. Again, not it's barely bearable, but I honestly could drop that lower. I actually am gonna drop it a little bit lower. This X Division Impact one, is a little better. I like the silver and blue. I think I do like this one a little bit better. I kind of, I guess, like rounder, more round belts. Um, it's much more legible too, because even this is like this one has really small writing. This one has pretty small writing. This one's a little bit better. I'm gonna put it right there in the all right category. I wouldn't be completely upset rocking that belt. Next up is the heavyweight TNA one. I don't. Is that the current one they use? I don't believe so. It's kind of just classic. I'm gonna put it up here. It's just like one of those belts that it's like recognizable. Um, isn't the greatest, but I think it is definitely mimics like the old heavyweight title of the WWE. I think they started going in this like three design with some of the newer championships right here on this Impact title. I do like that better than this one. I'll put it all right. It's a like a slight upgrade from all of these ones that are down here. I feel like this actually is a little higher now, seeing a lot of what the rest of this stuff has been. And I probably would slide that down at that point because it's better than these, but I don't know if it's better than that one. This X Division one, it's like a little different, being kind of square. Reminds me of like the old NXT title that was an X. The blue on this is a lot better. I'd put it in the all right category. It's pretty sad when you go through some of these belts. I see this giant red X, and there's really nothing that crazy about it, but it's still better than a lot of the other belts we've seen. I'm gonna put it in. It's lovely. I mean, you know what it is. You know what division. You know all that. It's kind of cool. Here's the world title. I don't know when they use this one. This one looks very familiar. It reminds me of the heavyweight title of the WWE pretty well. I like the gold with a little bit of color and then the black leather. I think it works out pretty nicely. This red TNA belt is kind of similar, like of being like the color with the red and like the gold. Red and gold looks really good. I mean, surprisingly, they don't use that super often so far. They kind of go with some of this blue, and it's not bad, but I don't think it. I think the red is just so iconic. The red and yellow is what I think of when I think of TNA, and not a lot of these belts have yellow. I guess gold kind of, but it's not like that. Do you like the little crown on this one? It seems like an older belt, to be honest. It's a women's title belt. I don't remember this one too much into to use. I'll put it in all right. Like a lot of the times with these belts or these tier lists, I try to even them out, but I don't know if I'm gonna just throw stuff at the top just to throw stuff at the top. I do like this belt. I do like this red one. Um, it's a little bit better than some of these other belts. I like the red. I think it really does make it pop and makes the gold pop a lot more. The writing's a little bit smaller on this one, but you still get the TNA logo. I think a lot of it does look pretty nice with that. This one's very similar to this one. I think this was a little bit more vibrant, so I'm gonna put it up and put that one there. I like that red more than that red. I guess we're just nitpicking small stuff at this point because I feel like I've just absolutely don't like a lot of these titles. This one's pretty gold and gaudy. I kind of like it. It does show like it looks like a symbol of power. This blue X Division, green. I mean, I like that one. It's kind of very similar, almost identical to that, just based off of color. So I'll probably put it there. That being the case, I would probably feel comfortable moving the X Division title up higher, and then honestly, but looking at a lot of this, I could put that in the top. The world title here, not the greatest. This doesn't have like their current titles, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't see the knockout title or the other titles. I could be wrong, but looking at a lot of these, I think the Giant X goes up to the top right now because it's not the greatest, but not the worst. I'll put this TNA title here, kind of plain, not really my thing. And the last one is this X Division 2. That's the one I've always thought of when I think of old school like TNA. Um, Even though I think they've not. This hasn't been that long since I've used it, but I could be wrong about that. But it's like I don't know the X and the Impact. It's always something I thought, and I thought that was more of their titles that had that. I mean, I guess there is a lot of X's in it, but I thought it was more like this. And that's how I feel. I feel like I kind of shit on a lot of these titles. I don't know. Tell me if you guys think that their titles are. I think WWE has some amazing titles. I think AEW has some amazing titles. I don't necessarily think TNA's had the best titles. But I could be wrong. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.